Hi, and thank you for joining us here at Tax Talk UK, where we talk about all things tax and consider other important aspects of working for yourself, being self-employed, running a small business. So today I am going to take a look at the autumn budget statement that was delivered last week, to look at the impact that will have on your finances. And before I do, if I could ask you please to take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you will easily be able to refer back to the information if you need to, as well as being able to find information that we have on a whole wide range of topics, all aimed at supporting you in your self-employment. So let's then look at the autumn budget statement that was delivered by the Chancellor Jeremy Hunt last week. So I don't intend to get into the politics of the budget. I don't intend to look at the sort of wider economy, any reasons why why announcements would or wouldn't have been included in their statement. We're just going to have a factual look at the announcements that were made and look at how these are going to impact you in your pocket. So let's first then have a look at what happened with income tax. So there's no change to the rates of income tax, although if you are a high income earner earning over £125,000, then you need to be aware that currently the 45% tax bracket starts with once your income reaches 150,000. From April 23, that will actually start just over 125,000 pounds. So that's an important thing to know for people in that tax bracket. So the other big thing to talk about relates to thresholds, and that is that the thresholds have been frozen until 2028. So once we get to the next tax year in April 23, for 5 tax years, we cannot expect our personal allowance to be increased. So although we won't be paying more tax, we still will have the same allowances that we have currently. We would ordinarily be expecting year on each year to have an increase in our personal allowance, and that won't be happening. So in some ways over the 5 years that will increase in more tax, albeit we just won't see the reduction. So hopefully that explains the impact of that. And similarly for national insurance, the thresholds have also been frozen until 2028. So this just again means that if you are earning just maybe just slightly under one of the thresholds or the brackets, as you receive pay increases, that could push you into higher brackets that you wouldn't have been in otherwise. So it's just to be aware of the thresholds and to know that they won't be increasing, expected to increase across the next 5 years. One thing to note in respect of national insurance for employers is that the employer's allowance will remain at £5,000 going into the next tax year. And also for employers to know that the national living wage for over 23s will increase to £10.42 from April 23. So all employers will need to make sure that they are paying the national living wage, and that increases in line with the increase as when it comes in April 23. And we have other guidance where we talk in detail about the sort of minimum wages and the national living wage. So we won't go into that in more detail here. So moving on then to dividend tax, which will be particularly relevant potentially to those trading as micro entities. So currently you can earn £2,000 of dividends within the tax year as an allowance with no dividend tax applicable. So from April 23, that will be reduced to £1,000 for the next tax year, and then the tax year after. So from April 24, that will be reducing down to £500 allowance. So any dividends over £500 by the time that we get there will be subject to dividend tax. And also capital gains is another thing that could impact people selling assets. So currently the allowance for capital gains is 12,300. So within that amount, any gains falling below that amount within a tax year will be exempt from capital gains. That will be reducing to an allowance of £6,000 from April 23 and down to £3,000 from April 24. So that will impact people with making any capital gains, particularly within our audience, would impact private landlords, anyone looking to sell their properties. So lots of changes coming that aren't necessarily looking to straight away increase the amount of tax that we're paying, but not increasing our allowances or reducing our allowances will ultimately impact in more tax. So it's important that if any of those income types or taxes are relevant to you, that you are aware of the allowances and the threshold, so that you can plan accordingly to make sure that that everything is the most tax efficient that it can be. And as I say, this was only intended to be a brief overview on the things that would likely to be affecting you. I will put the link to the full statement, the full speech given by Jeremy Hunt in the description, where he obviously gives the full background, talks about the economy and that's the sort of politics of what he's seeking to achieve, and you can make your own mind up on that. But for today, I just wanted to give you the information in the announcements, which are what people are asking us for. So thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Goodbye.